Hey everyone, Anand here. It's been a while, but I'm finally back and so excited to connect with you all again. I have been meaning to get back to making videos for some time now, but like Newton's first law says, objects at rest tend to stay at rest. Breaking inertia has been a challenge for me for sure. But here I am, ready to dive back in and share more about value investing and beyond. In this video, I'm going to share what I have been doing recently, including the books I have been reading, and towards the end, I'm going to share something called Rule of Three, and I'm sure you are going to like it. So, please watch the video till the end. Let's get started. So, what have I been up to during this break? Well, a big part of it was spending time with my parents, who were here with me. It's been a wonderful experience filled with their wisdom and stories. But it also kept me quite busy. That said, I didn't put my value investing journey on pause. In fact, I used this time to dive into some great reading and enrich my knowledge even further. Here are some of the books I have read recently. Number one on the list is Focus on What Matters by Darius Foroux. This book emphasizes the importance of minimizing distractions and focusing on the most important tasks to achieve greater productivity and fulfillment. The next one is The 10 Commandments for Business Failure by Don Q. Don Q was a former top executive at Coke. Notably, he was also on the board of Berkshire Hathaway and Coke. This book humorously points out the mistakes that often cause businesses to fail so that we can learn to avoid them. Next is the Airbnb story. This book tells the story of how Airbnb started as a small idea and grew into a very big and successful company that we know today. I picked this up after Airbnb's stock crashed post quarter 2 results. I wanted to see if I know enough to invest in this business, and I thought I was not ready yet. Next is Same as Ever by Morgan Housel, the same author who wrote timeless wisdom on the book Psychology of Money. In this book, Morgan Housel explores how, despite constant change, human behavior and the underlying forces that shape our world remain remarkably consistent over time. The next is The Making of Value Investor by Gautam Baid, whose first book, The Joys of Compounding, was a real joy to read. If you haven't read that book, I encourage you to do so. In Making of a Value Investor, Gautam shares valuable insights on how to identify and invest in successful companies. And finally, you might have heard or even read the famous book that turned Warren Buffett from a deep value investor into a quality investor that we know today. Well, that book is called Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by Phil Fisher. However, I'm not talking about this book at all. I have read this book multiple times in the past. I came to know that there is a little known book that was also written by Phil Fisher after the success of Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits, and that is called Paths to Wealth Through Common Stocks. This is the book I am talking about, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the wisdom shared in this book, especially the second chapter where he highlights how the greatest increases in stock market values come about and the role of institutional buying in it. I thought it was very relevant in today's times of magnificent sevens. But that's not all. 2 years ago, I took a big step and decided to read all the letters Warren Buffett wrote to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders from 1965 to 2014. That's 50 letters spanning 50 years. And let me tell you, they were packed with wisdom. From those letters, I picked up so many valuable business lessons. For instance, I learned how crucial metrics like return on retained earnings and return on incremental capital employed are. These metrics show how well a company's management uses its money to grow the business. Inspired by this, I added these metrics to the management effectiveness section of the LVI platform. Check it out. At first, these terms might seem a bit complex, but they are crucial for understanding a company's true strength. They help us see how effectively a company uses its own profits to generate even more profits. I believe that understanding these metrics is essential for any serious investor. They provide valuable insights into a company's long-term potential. But my love for learning from the greats didn't stop there. Since then, I have always wanted to read the letters written by great investors to their partners. These letters are packed with insights. You can find them online, but I'm a bit old school. I like reading on paper. So I downloaded and compiled these letters into a physical format for myself. So far, I have finished all the letters from the Nomad Investment Partnership written by Nick Sleep from the 2001 to 2014. Right now, I'm working through letters from François Rochon of Giverny Capital. To say I have been enjoying them would be quite an understatement. While reading, one gem I have picked up is something called the Rule of Three, explained by François Rochon in his 2002 letters to investors. It's more of a mental model than a rule, but is incredibly useful for keeping a healthy mindset as an investor. In this video, I am going to share that with you all. In his letter, Rochon points out that during every bear market, many investors panic and give up, fearing they will never touch stocks again until the next bull market rolls around. He emphasizes that stock market corrections are inevitable and should be seen as partners in our quest for superior returns. Rather than fearing these corrections, we should accept them and even try to benefit from them. Rochon's Rule of Three is about accepting three key realities when you decide to become an equity investor. Number one, 1 year out of 3, the market will drop by more than 10%. Number two, one stock out of 3 that you buy will be disappointing. It will not work. And 3, 1 year out of 3, you will be underperforming the index. While he doesn't offer any scientific data to back this rule, I think it's more of an observation from years of investing. But knowing this helps prepare us mentally for the ups and downs of the market. When we expect tough years or stock market corrections, we are less likely to panic and more likely to act rationally when they happen. Another point Rochon makes is that the Rule of Three isn't linear. You might have 3 great years in a row and then hit a rough patch. For example, the Sequoia fund managed by Bill Rowan underperformed the S&P 500 in its first 4 years from 1970 to 1973, but afterward it became one of the best performing funds of all time. Or take the Chest fund managed by the legendary John Maynard Keynes. From 1928 to 1945, the first 3 years were terrible, down 48% compared to the British stock market, 36%. But over the next 18 years, it delivered an annual return of 9% versus minus 1% for the British market. Keynes still underperformed 6 years out of 18, or about 1 year out of 3, just like the Rule of Three suggests. So I hope this gives you some perspective on handling the ups and downs of the market. The Rule of Three is a great mental tool to help you stay calm and focused in your investing journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like and leave a comment below. If you are new here, consider subscribing to stay updated on value investing tips and more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.